Hello, and welcome to another episode of Untraditionally Traditional, a podcast with me, Brittany Duncan, a millennial homemaker. Join me each week as I share all the things I've learned that make keeping your home, garden, and life running smoothly, all while working. If you are enjoying the podcast, please be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcasting app so you get the episodes downloaded straight to you every Monday. Now, on to today's episode. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Untraditionally Traditional, a millennial homemaker. This is your host, Brittany Duncan, and for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, I'm so happy you're here. And for the regular listeners who haven't had an episode released in 2 months, I'm so sorry. But I hope that this new season of content will serve you and make up for my time away. The amazing thing about taking a break from the podcast is that life provides you with all sorts of inspiration. So I've got episodes mapped out for the upcoming weeks, and I really think you'll enjoy them. My brain is on fire with all sorts of ideas and things I want to talk about. So, why the hiatus? I'm pregnant! Johnson and I are thrilled to share that, God grant it, we will be having a baby boy in May. A few disclaimers at the top of this episode. I'm going to be talking about fertility and pregnancy. If this is a topic that doesn't make your heart feel, or if it makes your heart feel anything but joy, please skip this listen. I've been in phases of life where hearing that someone else, yet again, besides me, is pregnant. And that's hard. And I get it. The foundation of this podcast is to bring inspiration and joy to you as a homemaker. So if hearing my life update and about being pregnant doesn't do that for you, I hear you, I see you, I respect you enough to encourage you to go on, click next, go to a different show or song that makes you smile because you deserve to be happy. With that, anything I say today is also not medical advice, nor should be taken as such. Talk to your doctors, your healthcare team of providers. If something that I say piques your interest, see what their thoughts are on it. I'm just sharing what has worked for me. So a little backstory. It took Johnson and I 18 months to get pregnant. I'm not going to dive into the specifics of our journey, what we tried, what ended up working publicly, because I think some things are better left between two partners, God and their medical team. But if you're curious, I am an open book. So if you want to talk or you think hearing from someone who has walked the walk of unexplained infertility, I'd be happy to talk to you, maybe just in a less public forum. You can always message me through Instagram at untraditionallytraditionalpod. The sunshine, hope, blessing is that I got pregnant. I've wanted to be a mom for a long time. I dreamed about being pregnant for a long time. So when I found out, saw those 2 pink lines, and we had an appointment to confirm that it was a viable pregnancy, I was over the moon, scared, kind of a like, oh, we're in it now feeling, but so happy. Energetic, plans for days about how this pregnancy was going to look, what I was going to eat, how I was going to exercise. Oh, so many plans. I had 2 weeks of that blissful feeling. Looking back, maybe a little bit naive about what I thought the process would look like before I hit 6 weeks pregnant. Literally like clockwork, the eve of my 6th week, vomit. Weeks 6 through 7, or not 6 through 7, I wish, 6 through 11 were rough, really rough. I know other women have had it harder, they've had it longer, no doubt, but my golly did I underestimate morning sickness. And honestly, whoever named it that should be kicked in the kneecaps because it's all day, any time of day, evening, whenever it pleases. For me, afternoons and evenings were the worst. Getting through the night without waking up from nausea was hard. And I say this not to scare anyone or to sound like I'm complaining. I am so grateful to be pregnant. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But just to bring awareness to it, because I certainly wasn't expecting to be so off from how I normally felt in a lot of different ways. So all those plans of eating healthy were gone. Meat was a no-go. Vegetables, a no-go. Most fruit, no-go. So basically carbs and protein in the form of a powder, whatever I could sneak it into. That's how I was keeping my protein up. Small meals and lots of prayer that they would stay down. Eventually, I started taking Unisom and high doses of B6 throughout the day at my gynecologist's advice at 10 weeks. And I don't know if it was that combination or just getting closer to the second trimester when most women start to feel better. It was a game changer. Again, not giving medical advice, but definitely talk to your doctor. I wish I had explored this option earlier. Ginger tea, I swear, like something about when you're pregnant, you're like, oh yeah, I've been feeling that. Everyone's like, oh, drink ginger tea. And while I do love a cup of ginger tea, it is not a cure-all, and it definitely did not cure my morning sickness. So if you feel like the things you're trying don't work, talk to your gynecologist early. Message them on, whatever healthcare platform you have, because I waited until 10 weeks, and I think I could have been feeling a lot better a lot sooner had I taken that step. All that to say, with things going out the window, healthy eating, of course, was one. Exercise. I had to put a pause on my gym membership for, I guess I took about, 6 weeks off to almost 2 months because, was not doing that. I'd try and go and I would feel sick, or I ended up having to cancel a bunch of classes because right before the class I'd end up being sick. So it just wasn't working. So with those things going out the window, recording the podcast also did. And honestly, I didn't feel myself. Again, I was so happy to be pregnant, but at the same time, I felt like I was a shell of myself. Wasn't doing anything. I'd work, sleep, try and eat, be sick, and that was about it for weeks. And I just felt like such a loser. Johnson would come home from work, try to make me food that I would eat, bless his heart, and try to talk to me like we normally do, except I felt like I had nothing to offer. Like nothing new was happening in my life. My day was a struggle. I just felt negative talking about it. It was like getting kind of like dark there for a while. And I think if you feel like that when you're pregnant, know that you're not alone. That, again, it was something that I wasn't expecting and that I hadn't heard anybody talk about. You hear about people talk about like postpartum depression all the time, but you just got the best news of your life. And for the first several weeks of my first trimester, I felt like I was like hanging on by a thread a little bit, if I'm being honest. And it's hard to talk about things that are inspirational on this podcast when you're not feeling inspired. So I took a break. And I'll tell you what many women said to me that at the time was not really helpful, but is true, is that it lifts. One day you're going to blink and you're going to feel yourself again. Food is suddenly going to be appealing. Your sense of creativity will return. You'll feel like putting clothes on and that are not sweatpants and maybe doing your hair and makeup. Music will make you want to dance and sing along again, and you'll just be in a good mood. And I think that's honestly why we don't hear about how awful those, that first half of the first trimester or however long it takes until you're not feeling sick can be, because women forget. Already I find myself being like, yeah, it sucked, but you survived and it wasn't that bad, and you're looking ahead and you're mainly just so grateful that you're feeling better that you kind of forget to think about what it was like when you were sick. So while it's fresh, I am going to share the random lists that helped me through those rough weeks. Call it a first trimester tip list, if you will. And yeah, let's get into it. As the title suggests, Bedside Banana, inevitably, I would wake up between midnight and 1 a.m. with nausea. And rather than getting out of bed, I had my handy bedside banana. When I wake up in the middle of the night, I would eat half. And then I would swish with crazy, with water. Swish like crazy with water. To, get it out of my teeth so I could fall back asleep. I did not get up and brush my teeth in the middle of the night when I was eating this banana. Brushing my teeth, like it is for many pregnant women, is like a horrible trigger of nausea. So I was not about to do that for a second time in the middle of the night when I'm trying to combat nausea. Sue me. No, it wasn't great for my dental hygiene. But I found the banana a lot easier to digest, but also like a lot easier to get out of my teeth than say like crackers or anything processed. So the banana was my go-to. And if you're sharing a bed with your partner, it's a lot quieter to eat. They make these like little mini packs of Ritz crackers, and I had that by the bedside one night, and it was just like, I don't know, I guess like flashbacks to when you're in a movie theater and you're trying to like quietly open your snack and it's just like crinkle, 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 crinkle. It was like that, and I think I stressed myself out more than the crackers actually helped. So bedside banana is where it's at. The second half of the banana was consumed in the morning before getting out of bed. What they say about small, frequent meals is true. My nausea was so much worse if I let myself go more than 2 to 3 hours without food, and it was really helpful to eat a little bit of something before getting out of bed. For breakfast, again, like my, quote, morning sickness was worst in the afternoon and like especially in the evening. So like pre-12 o'clock in the afternoon, that was like my time to try and get in some food. And I ate steel-cut oatmeal with a variety of like seeds and fruit, blueberries. I say fruit. It was always blueberries for weeks. Or apple, actually. I would have blueberries or apple. Those were the two fruits that I could tolerate. And that's what I would have like every single morning. I couldn't tolerate eggs for a long time. Cereal was tasty, but it wasn't heavy enough. And so steel-cut oats were just comforting and that thing that I found that works. So when you find that thing that works, work it until it doesn't work anymore. Or until like you can tolerate something else again. Eventually it was like, like an egg on toast actually sounds pretty good. And I moved to like avocado toast for a while and then gradually began to add in like normal breakfast foods. Smells. Your sense of smell is like a bloodhound during those rough weeks. You can smell dust and things that you never realized how to smell, but now you can smell them. Candles and shampoo, things that normally smell great, are assaulting. And the smell of food cooking, disgusting. Honestly, like I feel a little queasy even just thinking about how that used to make me feel. I found the only way that I could eat real food was if I didn't make it and I didn't smell it while it was cooking. Johnson was amazing. He really stepped up during this time to be the chef of the house, which is normally my role. Often my meal was components of his meal, like whatever didn't gross me out to think about. He ate a good 20 feet away from me because I didn't want to smell the meat or anything that he had on his plate that I did not want on my plate. He handled all the dishes and cleaning tasks so that I wouldn't have to smell food smells. And I think it's really important to recognize our spouses during this phase. Hopefully you have a spouse that like steps up the way mine did. If you don't, I'm really sorry. I'd say like DoorDash is your friend if you are, a single mom, or if your spouse works during, meal times and there's nothing you can do about it. Or if they're just like not as helpful in that area. You got to find what works for you. But for me, Johnson was a godsend. It's hard for us to like forget to recognize them, right? Like, especially for us who are like the primary homemaker, we are used to doing the cooking, the cleaning, the running of the house. It's a lot of things that like give us our identity. For our partners to instantly pick up that slack while dealing with our hormones and maybe some of the emptiness that I was feeling. I was like not a great spouse during this time. Like I said, I was barely hanging on. Johnson, you were amazing. I know I didn't thank you enough. And his support through my roughest weeks literally was what got me through, above anything else that I'm saying on this list. But things that everybody can buy, ginger candies. Ginger candies. Oof, I swear, I was so sick of the word ginger by the time I got through this. But even better than ginger candies are the Preggy Pop Drops. Johnson ordered these for me because one of his male friends said that like his wife used them during pregnancy and that they were a lifesaver for her, and they really were for me too. I bought a ton of ginger chews and candies, and then I kind of got an aversion to ginger partway through. But the Preggy Pops, they're citrus flavored and they're like zippy and they cut through the nausea, I found. So, yeah, great. Highly recommend. They're definitely like a candy. Don't read the ingredients. Just enjoy, and you got to do what you got to do to get through this phase. This is probably too much information, but you're going to learn one way or another. When you feel the nausea coming on to the point that you think, you're probably going to be sick soon, go pee. Ever retch so hard you peed your pants while throwing up? Yeah, me either. Until pregnancy. Just throwing that out there. This should have been my number one, but talk to your doctor about what meds you can take. The Unisom and the B6 not only helped me sleep better, but seriously decreased the nausea. I was stubborn and felt like I really wanted a medication-free pregnancy. And at some point, you guys know I love the what's good, better, best, right? I think it's better to be able to keep food down and eat real foods and like have nutrition going towards the baby than throwing up all the time. So that's just me. Again, I talked to my doctor about it. So I wish I had done that sooner. Along that same vein is prenatals. Whoever designed them, not sure if they remember what pregnancy was like or have ever been pregnant, but the idea that let's pack a ton of iron that smells and tastes like blood into a horse-sized pill and make nauseous ladies take them three of them a day or 3 times a day. Crazy. I like my prenatals. I did a lot of research to select them. I feel like I've been taking prenatals forever because, of course, I took them while we were trying to conceive for 18 months, and then I've taken them throughout pregnancy. So the ones I love are the Thorne prenatals. However, I did not take these weeks 6 through 11. At the advice of a friend and fellow mama who's, I think, like 6 weeks ahead of me in her pregnancy journey, I started taking the Ollie gummy prenatals, and they don't have iron in them, and it's like a yummy little gummy, and this was like honestly the only way that they were going to be staying down, right? Like I took the Thorne ones and I'd throw them back up. So is that better than taking the gummy version? Probably not. Stop committing to things. This was a hard one. It's a double-edged sword. I so badly wanted to see friends and family and go to events and feel normal. But most of the things I said yes to, I ended up having to cancel or like had to grit my teeth through to smile, even though I felt terrible. At some point, I just stopped saying yes to things. And it was a season, and I think that's important to remember with any hard part of life that you're going through. But in this phase especially, is like, it's a season. It was 2 months of seeing very few people, not doing much that was fun, but your friends will be there when you feel better, and that's like what you need to remember. Just take care of you. So my last and full circled note is to give yourself the grace to let things go off the rails. Our house was a mess. I was messy, sweatpants and messy buns for weeks. I wasn't a top-tier wife, friend, daughter, granddaughter, or to anyone during this time. But I was the best mom that I could be. I was taking care of me, which in turn was taking care of baby. And at the end of the day, that is what matters. So that's what I've got for insights I've had in my first trimester. Next week, I'll be talking about how I almost hired a house cleaner and why I didn't, highlighting the reasons why your house might not look clean even after cleaning. Thanks for listening, everybody. And for all of you who believe in the power of prayer, please keep us and our baby boy in your thoughts. All right, until next week, happy homemaking, everybody. Thank you for listening to this episode of Untraditionally Traditional. If you enjoyed the podcast, please share it with those special people who would love it too, and write a review. For more tips and photos of my home and garden, follow Untraditionally Traditional Pod on Instagram. Until next week, let's continue to make our homes places of joy and service to ourselves and those we share them with.